Okay, Wildcats. Today we're at 2.3, solving absolute value inequalities assignment tutorial. Let's go ahead and click on it. And let's get started. All right, we're going to start with question number 3. Solve the inequality 2 times absolute value of x less than or equal to 3. Use the graph of f of x equals 2 times absolute value of x and g of x equals 3 shown. Okay, so we're less than. Okay, so basically we're looking at this piece and this piece. Okay, that's where it's less than. Okay, now you can see that it lies between, so the x is in the middle. Okay, so it's not an or statement. So it's not B, it's not D. It's this, x is between this and this. Okay, now that looks like that this is a definite negative number. This is definitely a positive number. Now, it's since they use a less than equal to, we use less than equal to, so it's not A. So the answer is C. Okay. Okay. And the key here is if they use the less than equal to, then you know that x is going to be between. Okay. All right, but let's check the answer. Mouse pointer. Check correct. All right. Now let's look at question number 4. Now solve the inequality. Absolute value of x minus 2 greater than negative 1. Use the graph of f of x equals absolute value of x minus 2 and g of x equals negative 1. Now this is greater than. So we're looking at this piece and this piece because these are the pieces that are greater than. Okay, now this is an or statement because it's this left side or this right side. Okay, so we know it's not between, so it's not A, and it's not D. Now we need to find the value. So it looks like it's x is less than 1, so far B's are correct, or x is greater than 3, so the answer is B. Okay, let's check the answer. Correct. All right, now let's look at question number 5. Okay, solve the inequality 1/2 times absolute value of x plus 2 less than 4. Use the graph of f of x equals 1/2 x plus 2 and g of x equals 4. So it's less than, so we're looking at this piece. So we know it's between, so it's not an or statement, so it's not D. And it looks like it's, now this has no line underneath, so the answer has no line underneath. So it's between negative 4 and 4. So the answer is A. Okay, let's check the answer. Correct. All right, let's look at question number 6. Solve the inequality. Absolute value of x plus 2 minus 5 is greater than equal to negative 3. Use the graph of f of x equals absolute value of x plus 2 minus 5 and g of x equals negative 3 shown. Now this is greater than, so we're looking at this piece and this piece because these are the pieces that are greater than. Okay, so the solution is x is less than or equal to, it looks like negative 4. Negative 4. Oh, thought it typed it in. Let's try that again. Negative 4. Or x is greater than or equal to 0, looks like. Correct. All right, now let's look at the next question. Now we're going to jump to number 9. Okay, solve the absolute value inequality, or select the absolute value inequality that matches the graph, then select the solution of the inequality. Okay, so first off, we know that it went to the left 2, so that means we have the absolute value of x plus 2, you know that piece, okay? it didn't go up or down. Okay. Now, here, select the absolute value inequality that matches the graph, then select the solution of the inequality. All right. Now, we know the answer is not D because it didn't go up. Okay. Now, we know that it's not A because it didn't go down. Okay. Now, we know the plus 2 means it went to the left, so it's not minus 2, so the answer is C. Answer. Wait, what? That is not it. Let me see what I missed. Oh, sorry, that's not right. I forgot to answer this piece. Okay. Now, if it's less than, okay, which C is, it's an and statement. Okay. So if it's less than, it's an and statement. That means we know it's not A or D. Okay. Now, if it's less than, then we know we're looking at this piece right here. So it's between, it looks like -4 and 0. Now, the inequalities never face the direction for C. Okay, they never face that direction. It's always in that direction. So the answer is B. Okay. Now that's question number 9. Now let's jump to question number 11. Okay, and let me erase this. All right, solve the absolute value inequality. Okay, now if I remember right, let's go through the steps. Okay, step 1 out of 6. So first, what we're going to do is subtract 5 from both sides. So 10 minus 5. So the piece I didn't show you is right here. So they're subtracting 5 from both sides. Let me see if I can write those 5s better. All right, small minus 5 minus 5. So 10 minus 5 is 5. Okay. Oh, the answer is not negative. The answer is just 5. The result will just say that. Okay. Now they're going to divide 2 by both sides. Okay. So then this is 5 divided by 2. 5. Check. All right. Rewrite as 2 inequalities. Okay. So x is less than negative 5 divided by 2. Now it's greater than, so this is an or statement. And so let me just write this as a note, and you might write it somewhere. If it's this, this is an and statement. Oh, whoa. Sorry. My mistake. Sorry. This is an or statement. And then if it's this, it's an and statement. You might write that down somewhere or refer to your notes to refresh. That's going to be helpful in a lot of these problems, okay? All right, so check. All right, add 7 divided by 2 to both sides of the inequality. So, and let me come over here. And actually, you know what? Write this down somewhere. I have to erase it so I can help you with the next part of here, okay? All right, let me show you the work. I'm going to show the work for that right here. Okay, so you have x minus 7 divided by 2 equals a negative 5 divided by 2. So you add 7 divided by 2 to both sides. So you get x equals negative 5 divided by 2 plus 7 divided by 2 equals, okay, now real simple, negative 5 plus 7 is 2 divided by 2, which is, okay, so x is less than 1. Oh, forgot to do this. Now, we know that it's less than, so it's an and statement. And, all right, go ahead and write that down somewhere. And I'm going to delete this. Work the other side. And notice I'm replacing it. Well, I guess I put an equal sign, but really I was just getting the number. But to be correct, I can just put the inequality symbol there. Then that's x. So we add 7 divided by 2. Really, the inequality is irrelevant in that we're just trying to find the number. And we know that the inequality is already there. Okay. So then here, this is x greater than negative. Oh, I'm sorry. Whoa. That's what I get for trying to save some time. That's a positive 5 divided by 2. So x is greater than 5 divided by 2 plus 7 divided by 2, which 5 plus 7 is 12 divided by 2, which is 6. Okay, put that there. Okay, now let's check. Like x is less than 1. Now it's greater than, so it's oh. All right, so here's a mistake that I didn't look at. I need to go back to the original, and the original is greater than, and I know that that's an or statement. The mistake I made, and I want you to make sure you understand is I accidentally looked at this piece right here, and I saw that inequality. But I should have gone back to the original problem, and that told me that it's an or statement. So be careful. Don't make the mistake that I made on this. Okay. The end points 1 and 6, since it's greater than, should not be included. Okay. So explain that. So when it's greater than or equal to, notice the line, it's included. When it's less than or equal to, included. Greater than, not included. And less than, not included. Notice, if there's no line underneath, it's not included. If there's a line underneath, it's included. Okay. Check. Correct. All right. So now the graph. Okay. So this problem has a lot of pieces to it. Okay. All right. Now, x is less than 1, so notice this makes like an arrow. So the arrows, we're shading that direction. Notice that's making an arrow, so we're shading that direction. There's no line underneath, so it's open circle here, open circle here. Okay. So open circle 1, 6. The answer is A. I think that's correct. All right. Now let's take a look at, that was question number 11. Now let's go to question number 12. All right, solve the absolute value inequality. Or I'm sorry, yes, inequality. 2x plus 1 minus 5 less than 2 algebraically. Select the correct solution. So let's go step by step. So here they're adding 5 to both sides, putting it above since there's no space there. So really 5 plus 2 is 7. Okay. Okay. Now rewrite as 2 inequalities. Okay. So we have 2x plus 1 greater than negative 7. Now this is a less than, so this is an and statement. Now let's go back to the original. And statement. Okay. Okay. Subtract 1 from both sides of both inequalities. Okay. So do that. Subtract 1, subtract 1. So really, negative 7 minus 1 is negative 8. And then 7 minus 1 here is 6. Did I make a mistake? Oh, I forgot this. So again, it's a less than, so and statement. Remember, when it says something, it might say is incorrect. Make sure you answer each piece because that happened to me several times, and it's probably going to happen to you several times too. Okay. Divide both sides of the equality by 2. Dividing 2 here, dividing 2 here, and then dividing 2 here, and 2 here. Okay, so negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now we know that it's back to original. It's a less than statement, so it's and. Okay, the endpoints. Now there's no line underneath, so they're not included. Now to graph it, so here, this is going sort of a closed circle, or we have an open circle at negative 4. It's going in this direction. And then we have an open circle at 3, and it's going this direction. And you see here that this is where it's between. Okay, so it should be between negative 4 and 3. Okay, so whenever it's an and statement, it's in the middle. Okay, or you have left and right. So we know it can't be this one. It can't be this one. It can't be this because that has closed circles. So it has to be answer choice B. Check. All right. All right, and then let's look at the next question, 17 through 23. All right, the thermostat for a house is set to 76 degrees, but the actual temperature may vary by as much as 4 degrees. Use an absolute value inequality to find the range of possible temperatures in the house. The range of possible temperatures in the house in degrees is, so let's do step by step. Let the temperature in the house be T. The sign of the temperature between T and 76 degrees doesn't matter. So take the absolute value of the difference. Okay. Since the absolute value of the difference can be as much as 4 degrees, inequality that models the situation is. So as much is, they say right here, can be as much, it's less than or equal to. It cannot go more than, so it has to be less than. Okay, but it could be equal to. So we know because of that, we know it's not D. We know it's not C. It could equal 4, so it's equal, so here's A. Okay, so T minus 76 is greater than or equal to negative 4. Now, Going back here, it's a less than statement, so it's an and. That right there tells you it's an and statement. Okay. T minus 76 is less than or equal to 4. Add 76 to both sides, so negative 4 plus 76, okay, is 72. And then 4 plus 76 is 8. And really, there's a plus 76 here because you add it to both sides. But really, this number here is what's important. So, the let me get the mouse clicker. So, negative 4 plus 76 is 72. And 4 plus 76 is 8. Check. All right, everything is correct. Let's move on to the next question. That was question 17. Now let's look at 18. The balance of Jason's checking account is $470. The balance varies by as much as $60 each week. Use an absolute value inequality to find the range of possible balances in Jason's checking account. The range of possible balances in Jason's account is, let's do step by step. Let the balance in Jason's checking account be B. The sign of the difference between B and 470 doesn't matter. So take the absolute value of the difference. Okay. Now it says as much. It says as much. We saw this before. It's less than or equal to. So we know it can't be D and it can't be A. Okay. It can't be B because there's a line underneath. So the answer is C for this portion of the answer. Okay. Now rewrite as two inequalities. So B minus 70 is greater than or equal to negative 60. Now let's go back to the original problem. It says less than. So less than, this inequality right there tells us that it's an and statement. Add 470 to both sides. So negative 60 plus 470 is 410. And then 60 plus 470 is 530. Check. That is correct. All right. Let's look at number 18. Or I'm sorry, number 19. Okay. A study of the squirrel population in Central Park City showed that on average, a squirrel lived to be 7 years old. The lifespan of a squirrel may vary as much as 1.5 years. What is the range in years to which the squirrel lives? So again, let's do step by step. Let the age of the squirrel be A. The sign of the difference between A and 7 does not matter. So take the absolute value of the difference. Okay, now as much, we've seen this before. We know that it's less than or equal to. So it can't be D, can't be B, can't be A. That portion of it is. Okay. Since the absolute value of the difference can be as much as 1.5, the inequality model situation is A minus 7 less than, remember, less than, and I'll just enter right here, is an and state. Okay. Now A minus 7 is greater than or equal to. Add 7 to both sides of both inequalities. So negative 1.7 plus 7 is 5.5. And negative 1.5 plus 7 is 8.5. All right. Now let's look at question number. Okay, you're playing a history quiz game where you must give the years of historical events. In order to score any points at all for a question about the year in which man stepped from the moon, your answer must be no more than 4 years away from the correct answer. 1969. What is the range of the answer that allows you to score points? So again, step by step, seems to explain this well. So the actual year of the event, the A, the sign of the difference between A and 1969 does not matter. Now, it says, since the absolute value of the difference can be as much as 4. Think about that, as much. So that means, let's see, let me go back to the original problem. It says here, no more than 4. Okay, so it cannot be 4. Okay, so it has to be less than. What did I miss here? All right, so I thought. So I misspoke. When it says as much, it can't include 4, so it's less than or equal to. Okay, rewrite as 2 inequalities. So A minus 1969 is greater than or equal to negative 4. Now it's less than, so it's an and statement. Add 1969 to both sides of the inequality. So when you add 1969 to negative 4, you get 1965. And when you add 1969 to 4, you get 1973. Okay, that's question 20. Let's take a look at question 21. The speed limit on the road is 40 miles per hour. Drivers on this road typically vary their speed around the limit by as much as 4 miles per hour. What is the range of the typical speeds on this road? So again, step by step seems to explain this question the best. Let the speed of the car be s. The sign difference between s and 40 does not matter, so take the absolute value of the difference. Now, as much, I made a mistake explaining that in the last part, but I won't make it here. As much means less than or equal to. The answer is this piece D. Okay. Since the absolute value of the difference can be as much as 4, the inequality that models the situation. Oh, sorry. Rewrite the 2 inequalities. So s minus 4 is greater than. Notice it's always been greater than the negative side. So you take the negative 4 and a positive 4. Okay. Now less than we know is and. Add 40 to both sides. So negative 4 plus 40 is 36. And 40, when you add 40 to 40, you get 44. Okay. That's question 21. Let's look at question 22. Okay, a poll of likely voters shows that incumbent will get 54% of the vote in an upcoming election. Based on the number of voters polled, the results of the poll could be off by as much as 6% points. What does this mean for the incumbent? Okay, so he or she's not or certain to win. Okay, so we know it's not A. Is likely to win, but could still lose. This is more likely to be correct because so far they're leading in the poll, but they're off by 6%. So, saying the answer is B. Let's take a look at C. Not likely to lose because again they're up in the polls. The incumbent is certain to lose the election. That's nothing certain with elections. So In this case, the answer is B. Okay. I will say a little warning: polls only poll a certain amount of the population. The only real true poll is an actual election because that's when they actually vote. So be careful. Polls have been known to be wrong, so just be careful. Okay. Let's look at question number 23. A student solved inequality. The absolute value of x minus 1 minus 2 is greater than 1 graphically. I graph the function f of x equals the absolute value of x minus 1 minus 2, and g of x equals 1. Because the graph of g of x lies above the graph of f of x between negative 2 and 4, the solution of the inequality is negative 2 less than x less than 4. Identify and correct the student's error. Okay, the student identified where the graph of g of x lies above the graph of f. She should have identified where the graph of f of x lies above or intersects because of the line underneath. Oh wait, no. Yeah, hold on. Let me read this real quick. Students solved the inequality x minus 1 minus 2 greater than 1. Okay, so we're looking at this piece. Okay, I still think they're both is correct. We'll take a look. The solution of the inequality is x is less than negative 2. Okay, now it's a greater than symbol, so we know it's 4. X is greater than 4. All right, I believe that works through all of the questions. With that, hopefully that helps you complete the assignment. And with that, have a wonderful Wildcat day.